Hello everyone, welcome back to Optimal EV. Today we're going to be giving you a build guide and rundown on the all-new Nissan Ariya.
The Nissan Ariya is the second full electric car coming after the Nissan Leaf from Nissan. We're going to give you some of our first impressions on the car and go through the build site, so let's hop into it.
Let's do it. All right, so at a first glance, we have our side profile picture of the Nissan Ariya.
That looks like a Lexus.
You think so?
I think it looks like a Lexus.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
It definitely has some resemblance there. I don't think it's too bad at all. I mean, it looks pretty average.
Yeah.
You notice that the charging port is right there on the front right-hand side of the car. All right, so here we are on the front page of the Ariya's website. We get a nice side profile view. What do you think?
Looks like a Lexus.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, it
kind of
does.
like that Acura Lexus vibe.
Yeah, 100%.
A little bit. I can see it.
And also that gold. It's like, a first edition color. I don't know how I feel about it.
I feel like a lot of, maybe not a lot of, but a handful of manufacturers are already doing that gold limited availability. You know, everyone's got like their limited availability launch model, and then...
Do you think people like the gold? Personally, I would go for like a blue or a gray, and I wouldn't, try to get some kind of specialty gold color.
Yeah.
If it was a specialty like red or, something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't like this color, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I do think that sometimes the limited availability colors are pretty cool, but not so much on this one.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so we're going to go to reserve now and hop into the builder.
So there are 4 different models available for this car. We have the Venture Plus, the Evolve Plus, the Premier, which is the limited availability, and then the Platinum Plus.
Yeah, we're going to touch on the Venture, the Evolve, and the Platinum, just because limited availability, it won't be here long.
Yeah.
So it seems to me that the Premier is just a front-wheel drive version of the Platinum. So you're not getting the all-wheel drive. That's why it's a little cheaper.
Yep.
But you do get a lot of the features from it.
Right. Okay, so we're going to start with the Venture Plus, which is the front-wheel drive option. No extended battery here. The exterior looks not too bad. I think at certain angles, this car looks like this one in particular makes the car look really funky, kind of like a
bulky, right?
Yeah, like a bulky Buick. That's
Yeah,
my first
I agree.
impression. But the second you turn it to like the side or just from the rear,
The back looks way better.
yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks like a pretty average car.
I like the trend of the elongated
The bar?
LEDs in the back.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
Audi kind
really
of started
like
that.
that,
They were
yeah.
the first, and it looks really nice.
Yeah, you're going to see at a first glance here the base stats 300-mile range on the lowest model, which I will tell you.
Don't tell me about the speed.
The speed is really slow, 7.2 seconds from a 0 to 60. There's pretty much no kick with this. 238 horsepower, so I think most of this is focusing on carrying the weight of the vehicle, not so much as, propelling it forward.
I mean, it's not that slow when it comes to, petrol cars that have been, sitting at that speed for a long time when it comes to certain prices. But for EVs with that instant torque, I feel like it should be a lot quicker.
Right. You're not going to get a satisfying kick that you would normally expect from most EVs.
All I'm going to say is whoever's going to be driving this car, you're going the speed limit.
Yeah, for sure. So as we can see, there are 3 different color options here. We have all black, which looks pretty sharp.
Yeah. These lights are nice with the black.
Yeah, I think the LEDs in the front look pretty good. Next up, we have a mix of this like whitish black, which I think is just majority, silverish white across the whole
It's like
thing.
a pearl. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Let's go with the black trim.
I was just going to say I love that contrast with the top and the bottom. Moving on, we have gray and black, which is similar to the one we just looked at. It doesn't look too bad. I think I honestly would probably go with white and black over gray and black, but that's just me
I think the
personally.
black, again, lately I've been getting on this trend of black cars looking nice.
Yeah.
Personally, I probably wouldn't buy one just because of, the swirls and scratches that it will show, but
Right.
it definitely looks sharp. Wheels look nice too. Only a couple options for the base, and we're going to get into how, the base one really doesn't get a lot. So, let's hop into the interior first where you'll see that.
Yeah. So I should note the interior color options do change as you upgrade. However, looks wise, I think pretty much everything stays the same. Everything in that front center console area looks the same. The seating does change. You do get the option for leather as you upgrade.
It does look good though. I mean, it has the same shape as the leather seats, which is kind of cool. A lot of companies, when they have a cloth, they'll really destroy
Change the
the
whole
entire
thing.
interior.
Yep.
So this kind of keeps the shape. You will get a leatherette above this, but you only get one color on the cloth, which is unfortunate. But, if you're going for the cheapest model, it kind of makes sense.
As we look at the front dash here, you'll notice that there are the 2 screens up at the front dashboard. There's no changes as you upgrade through that, like I said. Now, the thing that you and I both noticed right away, which I think we both love, is how the climate control is all like built into this wood grain dash.
Yeah, that looks incredible. Just because they didn't put like a circle or square around it as like a trim around the button, it kind of just sits alone, which is super, super cool. And I've always been a huge fan of that like grainy wood that doesn't have any gloss on it because I hate the dust and the fingerprints that get all over it. So That's really nice. And then another thing, we noticed our logo. I know they're copying us,
Oh,
but
for sure.
it
They
has to
saw
be.
Optimal EV and they're like, we should definitely steal that.
That has to go on our start button.
Right.
So if you want to power up the car and be incredible, you have our logo right there.
Right. Pretty interesting prindle down there. It looks like it's just going to be, pressing a button and then move it a certain direction, if I had to guess. You'll notice, we can show you the different features
They copied
later.
it twice.
Oh, right in the middle.
Oh my God.
How could they? But you'll notice later on, we will mention that there are certain motorized functions that become available at higher packages, like the seating, the little tiny slider in the center console there, as well as the apparently the whole center console can be motorized and moved. So
pretty sweet.
Yeah, pretty cool feature.
One thing I have for you is, do you think that start button is a little hard to reach around? One thing that I've seen a lot of the industry going to is moving their start buttons to the middle, like Audi,
Right.
BMW. A lot of companies are making it easier to reach because I know reaching around a steering wheel is just get you like kind of feeling for it. So that's just one thing to note.
I think if you're
Not
used
too
to
big.
it, if you know to expect it there, not a big deal.
Yeah, it's not super important, but
Right.
just something I noticed.
Okay, so let's move on to the other packages. So now that we're going to hop into the Evolve Plus, you will see that the seating is pretty much identical. However, it now is the leatherette version, upgraded from the cloth. Otherwise, pretty much everything's the exact same here.
Yeah, we've recommended the leatherette really going forward. A lot of companies are doing it very nicely. It doesn't feel fake. It feels like just like leather.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely nice if you're going to go with the cheaper option.
Yeah, I'm all for not using real leather, if that's what's going to help the planet or, if that's what's best for you and you personally feel like that's what you support, then how about it?
100%. And then one big change that I'm a huge fan of, you're a huge fan of, is you'll get an option for a blue.
Yeah, this blue's really sharp.
Deep ocean. It's nice.
It looks really good.
Not too light, not too dark.
Yeah.
My perfect blue.
Yeah, I agree. The other thing to mention here, which we will get into later when we are comparing these, like I said, is a lot of motorized features. The seats also allow you to
How'd they go white? Wow. Okay. So if you get the blue, you will get the light interior as well.
Is that only with the blue exterior?
Let's take a look. It looks like that is the case. Yep.
Wow.
So with
okay.
the blue, that's interesting.
Very interesting.
I feel like they could have just showed it,
As an option
together.
and then,
Yeah.
grayed it out. Yeah, like
So
most
for those
websites.
of you on the builder, if you want to look at the interior lighter, just make sure you get the blue.
Yeah, definitely check that out. If you want to go back to interior, we can definitely mention that, as I was saying, those seats do automatically move up. You can automatically adjust them. You don't have to do anything manually. And but yeah, we'll get into all the comparisons later on.
Before we jump into the Platinum, you'll see that there's 285 miles instead of the 303. The reason for that is because they added things like the moonroof, the automatic seats. It really just extra weight is what took down this mileage. So it's not a difference in battery. It's the same battery, same front wheel drive. It's just you lose a little bit of range because of the extra features.
Yep, and you'll notice as we switch over to the Platinum Plus here, you will see that the range drops even more, down to 265. However, the speed is increased up to 4.8 seconds for the 0 to 60.
I mean, the range, it's 265. You're paying the most amount of money for the lowest amount of mileage. I get it. You're getting all-wheel drive, but it is a shame. You do get the new red, and you'll also have some wheel options as well. So let's just take a look at the different colors. Yep, same colors before, the red. And then the interior, you'll see that the Napa leather does get pretty sharp.
Yeah, it's definitely really nicely colored. I think that gray is a little bit better than a darker black cloth. But, I really don't think this is the best bang for your buck version of this car, or maybe just car in general, honestly.
It's been a trend where we usually pick the middle model, like the Evolve, that
Yeah.
gives you a lot of the options, but doesn't make you go overboard and get unnecessary features.
Yep. Lastly, we have wheels on here. We can take a look at those. They do have an option for aero cover wheels. These do look pretty sharp.
Yeah,
but
I like them. One thing in the interior I noticed is that, to me, the little design on the middle there doesn't look like a floor mat, like a all-weather floor mat.
I guess, yeah, a little bit.
Looks good though.
It's funny you say that. It does kind of resemble that.
It's a nice color though. So I mean, for the Platinum, you're getting a decent amount of options though for a lot of money. So we're just going to compare and show you the different options side by side.
Right.
Here we are on the highlighted features. One thing I mentioned before was that the Premier, the limited edition one, does get all of the features that the Platinum has, except for some of the exclusive accessories that the limited edition will have. We're just going to go over, quick. You have the mileage, just like we said. You go from 300 to 285 because of the weight, and then 265 because of the all-wheel drive.
Yep. I did kind of stand corrected earlier. They are mentioning here, it says does not include Premier exclusive accessories. So if there's anything that is very specific to the Premier version, it's not going to be put into the Platinum version once that model is ended.
It's like the gold and probably some little touches. Maybe it says first edition or something.
Right.
That, small things. It's not the actual options itself, like
Right.
the moonroofs and the automatic seats, the front cooled seats, things like that.
So the battery across all the different models is the exact same. You will notice that the drivetrain does change when you go to that Platinum Plus. It goes to the all-wheel drive version. Lastly, We have range, which as we mentioned before, slowly drops as you upgrade. It looks like the onboard charger is the same across all of them, and the quick charge port is standard across them.
Yeah, it's just same battery, everything the same function. All it's really adding is colors and features.
Yeah, we're not going to go through everything on this list, so if there's something you think we missed or need to go over, feel free to pause and take a look and read that yourself.
One thing to notice is you will get a power liftgate on all 3 models, which is really cool, except for on the Platinum, you will get a motion-activated hands-free liftgate, so you can kick underneath the trunk. If you're holding groceries, things like that, it's definitely easy to do that and get the items in the car without having to, put everything on the ground and figure it out that way.
Outside mirrors are dual power folding and heated, standard across all of them.
And you will get memory for the Platinum Edition, so it will memorize your mirrors for you.
Safety and security features here. Looks like there's a lot of good safety features standard across every model except for the front central seat mounted supplemental airbag, which is only available in that Platinum Plus. As we've mentioned in other videos, we would rather those things be available to all models, but we do understand that at a premium level you do get additional features.
Yep, and then just like getting more for your dollar, you'll see that the Pro Pilot Assist with NaviLink. You'll get the 2.0 edition, which will increase your safety systems.
Everything else here does seem to be standard, except for the rain-sensing windshield wipers. That is a very peculiar feature. I've had that on a car, and it's kind of nice, but definitely not something that would make or break a deal for me.
Yeah, I know it's important to some people, but I'm fine with lifting my windshield wiper up. It's cool, though. It's definitely a nice feature. Now, this is where it gets, you really see the big differences from the Venture to the Evolve.
Yep.
No power panoramic moonroof, no hard-to-no cover. You'll see that there's front and rear heated seats on the Ariya Evolve. I would like to have seen them put at least front on here and not give the rear. But
pretty crazy to get a car that doesn't have front heated seats 2022.
Yeah, I guess because of the cloth, it's a little harder and it's not as effective. Passenger cooled seats, driver front and passenger cooled seats, you'll only get on the Platinum. Memory seat function, you'll only get on the Evolve and the Platinum. That kind of sucks. I am someone who really likes the memory seats, especially if you have multiple people getting in the car. You don't want to have to keep adjusting your seat up and back, especially if you're very different sizes as well.
Right. As we mentioned before, seating surfaces, cloth does upgrade to leatherette, which all the way at the top upgrades to Nappa leather appointed.
Another one you lose, you won't get the heated steering wheel. You'll only get that on the Evolve. So again, I'm a huge fan of the heated steering wheel, so that you will miss out on that.
Yep. Motorized center dash glove box, that is not available in the Venture. Motorized sliding center console, also not available. Then we go down to multicolor contextual illumination, which I think is just a fancy way of selling the LED illumination in the car. Mm-hmm. Illuminated kick plates, not available until you upgrade enough. Power tilt and telescoping steering wheel with a memory function, also not available until you upgrade to the Platinum version.
Yeah, it is nice when you get out of the car and the steering wheel does lift up automatically. It's something that's convenient.
Yeah, it's a pretty luxury feature. If that's something that is standard for you, then you're probably used to those higher end models. So.
And then when it comes to some technology, you'll see that you won't get the heads-up display on the Venture. You'll start getting on the Evolve and the Platinum, of course.
Yep.
Apple CarPlay, though, that's standard across the whole way, and also wired Android Auto. So you'll get wireless CarPlay and then wired Android Auto.
Yep.
That is very important for a lot of people. We've talked about in the past that the wired is actually usually a better connection because it just doesn't disconnect.
Yeah.
I wish that every company gave you both.
Yeah, I think from personal experience, I can speak on having no issues with my wireless connection, but I've definitely seen and experienced it with other cars. It can really just be a pain to have to reconnect it all the time. Otherwise, all of the tech features across this are standard on all the models, except for the audio system. At the very bottom, you'll notice that you do upgrade to a 10-speaker Bose system in the Platinum Plus.
All right, so checking out the reserve section, you'll see, a chance to put your information in. You can reserve the car. One thing about the compare list that we just showed you, if you have any questions, just leave them down in the comments for us. We'll do the research for you. That's the part that we enjoy the most.
Yep.
So if you want to reserve the car, it's $500 fee. I'm not sure if that goes towards the car.
It doesn't
usually
really look like it.
Let's see if this asterisk tells you.
So at the middle there, it does say at the time of purchase, you may apply that fee towards your car payment. So that is good.
That makes sense. Everyone else does.
I would
hope
hope so.
Take your money.
Right.
Also, we're going to be scoring this vehicle, the Ariya, so if you want to hang out for a second, we're going to pause that on the screen right now.
All right, well, that wraps up our build guide and rundown on the all-new Nissan Ariya. I think it's a pretty nice car, but that being said, I do think it's really overpriced for what you're getting.
Yeah, at first, when I, first glance, I was not too impressed with it, and I saw a lot of flaws. That 0 to 60 time jumped at me. The range on the Platinum jumped at me. But, now that I looked into it, there are some nice things about it, and it might be a decent mid-entry, I guess you can call it entry-level vehicle for EVs. It's still getting up there, though. So, let us know what you think in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you in the future.